Welcome everyone to the Master Vox. Today we have a 1v1 with Yeoman Reteyha playing DFL versus VanDryten playing 78th Sturm on the right. With me today we have our normal co-caster of Nilla. Nilla, say hi.
I thought I was curable, but apparently I'm just treatable.
Sometimes the Nilla herpes, you just kind of get used to it. It's just there.
Yep, just there.
Yep.
You learn, it's like an acquired taste.
You just can't get rid of it, so you just kind of grow used to it.
Yeah.
One thing, speaking about herpes, I'm going to talk about these partisans right now. Oh my lord. The traction partisans are about to wreak some havoc. Oh, nope. Maybe the Schutzen?
Just missed.
Oh,
there goes. Gets one of them.
There's one Schutzen. All right, up north, did they get anything? Oh no. Oh god. I'm going to bet it on the Schutzen. Oh.
There goes the MG. Shoots are going to jump out.
The partisans just made their points back for the entire card off of those 2 kills.
That was wild.
That is a beautiful use of partisans. I can still hate it because it's been done to me, but beautifully done.
I want to pull your attention down south into the town. One thing here that you might notice is the Kubelwagen MG.
Yeah.
Where just dropped off the Aufklär. If you have a 15-point recon unit and you're bringing out recon infantry, bring them out in the 5-point transport, because that transport has recon optics on it. It has very high optics like the Aufklär do. So you're essentially getting, for 20 points, 2 recon units.
Very true. And I've used those Kubel MGs to run them back to pick up like a 2-man squad and put them in there. Yeah, you can do it. Like you can remove your flamethrowers.
Or something.
Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff with that. One thing I'm going to say here is I am very happy to see this Panzerbüsche 28 mil because the light armor that we're about to see out of Reteyha here with the DFL, 78th Sturm does horrible against light armor. It's like one of its like Achilles heels.
Yeah, and it's cool seeing the Panzerbüsche deployed in the game, because I remember they nerfed the range on it from 1,000 meters to 7,500, and I used it when it was at 1,000. It had good utility at 1,000-meter range because 80 millimeters of pen, regardless of the damage, is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're not killing the unit, you're pinning it, you're getting a crit on it, you're taking its health down a little bit, especially if it's a light unit like these Greyhounds. It might just outright kill it. So, cool little unit to see brought out.
3 damage. I think light vehicles have 6 health, so it's only 2 shots with the Panzerbüsche to be able to kill off the Greyhounds.
Yeah, well, and they're also good against medium tanks too, because most medium tanks are around that 70 to 90 millimeters of armor. Like if you roll up against a T-34 1943, you're gonna be able to pen it because that's 75 millimeters of armor. Same with a Panzer IV. Fighting a Panzer IV, you'll be able to pen it.
Yep, but the problem you're going to run into with being that Panzerbüsche crew is those Greyhounds have 50 cals and 30 cals, and it is the Lord's caliber doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, it's a very angry rectangular box.
Ooh, so much fire support. Up north, though, we're seeing a lot of play. Normally you don't see anything like this.
Yeah, I'll be real. Whenever somebody attacks me up north like that, I get irrationally mad because I hate fighting over that area. I hate it.
Oh. And the good thing is, like, these bimps have bazookas. The problem with the bimps, though, is their availability is absolute shit. But having 2 machine guns, the bazooka, and 2 Thompsons, they're pretty good. Especially with their machine guns being automatic rifles. So they're a weird, knife-fighty French unit.
Yeah, they're a super cool unit. Especially, like you said, the bazooka. The bazooka is just mean. And it's only 30 points as a unit, so it's pretty cheap for what you're getting. It's like a Panzer Grenadier squad with a better AT option.
Exactly. What is it? 10? It's 10 damage for the bazooka shot, so it will pretty much kill any medium vehicle and fuck up heavy armor. It won't kill it, but it will fuck it up. Oh, and that Makasaw, that 20-point unit, 25-point unit, just taking out that Pack 40, allowing for further reinforcements if he does bring them to be able to reinforce that point.
Yeah, kind of weird. He deployed the 60mm mortar way too far back.
It might have been a stopgap just to make sure in case anything happened that the flags don't fall. That would be my guess.
Check where the flag was. He smoked. There's a bunch of shell craters.
Oh yeah, he did smoke, which is a really smart thing to do.
Yeah, makes sense now.
Yep. Ooh, are we going to see a Bimp use a bazooka? Oh, but these shoots are going to rip him to shreds. Oh, God.
Yeah, and he definitely needs to get those shoots in the dense green forest there to engage him. Yep, there you go. He's pulling back now. Good micro there to pull back. But it's an attack move, so if he spots him, yeah, he's going to get into an engagement there that he will not win.
Ooh, you want to knife fight those shoots, and they fold like cheap paper dolls whenever like they're knife fighting.
Yeah, they suck. They suck at close quarters.
Well, yeah, they're a 15-man unit with 2 MGs. If you can get past the fact they have 2 MP40s, you do the Lord's work in close range against them because the main damage and suppression comes from those MG42s.
Yeah, let's look back down south. One of the Greyhounds got taken out by a Panzerschreck deployment down there, but those Greyhounds have done some really good work. They've really disrupted the movements here down south and forced that call out of the Panzerschreck, and there's a Stug coming in now too.
Yep, and a Pack 40 overlooking that road too, so we're not going to see much French armor. A Pack 40 with the APCR turned off, good job. I will commend you, VanDryten, because you don't need the APCR in this fight.
Yeah, there's nothing in this deck that you're really going to need the APCR for.
Yeah, I will point you to the center south, to those legionaries that have completely fucked over everything in that small little forest, giving him this flag with that M38105 being able to provide fire support to anything that pops over the ridge.
Yeah, this is people hate this map because of the positioning that we see the 105 in right now. You put a 105 there, you put a AT gun there, it just completely dominates the valley. Not to mention where the Legionary are, they get to run into that dense forest there, throw those satchel charges. If they find a fight they can't take or don't want to take, they can just pull back into the buildings and have fire support cover them. So, not giving Sturm here any Johns, but it's a hard position for them to be in, especially as a more defensive division, when they have to be inherently more aggressive due to the map.
Yeah, but one thing we're going to see at a Sturm, though, is that 2K availability. If he starts getting his wheels spinning up north, we're going to see some good work coming out of the Sturm division because they have the SIG 33s. Oh, wait, he's bringing them in B, though. What?
That's going to be a lot, especially being Maverick. That's a ton of support weaponry.
Oh,
but
Jesus.
There is a route there, too, to being able to get a double tick. There's that farm complex where the Legionary are. There's that one flag in the open, and he does have the farm complex there, so he's already in a good spot for that. And then that flag up north where we saw the Bimps go in, and they've been counterattacked by a huge clump of shoots in and Sturm shoots in. So there is a chance there that he gets 3 flags pretty quickly.
Yeah, VanDryten's about to retake this flag, and I don't see the French being able to retake it after that one Bimp goes away. So all the points that have invested up here, it was a good move because he got to take that flag back, and he's not losing that flag ever again.
The issue is, though, the hill down south is in jeopardy, and we're seeing them call out a 120mm mortar. I don't think now is the time to call that out. Now would be the time to call out armor. You want to get some Stugs up there. You want to have something that's in the way to threaten those softer infantry units from really getting to overlook the hill, because we can see the Pack 40 and that Stug there take out a Legionary squad.
Yep. I'm going to
taking it out.
Point out right here, so this is the main reinforcement road that most things go down there. If you put a 2K HE right here at that little 3-way crossroad, that T intersection, you can fire up and just cause absolute havoc on anyone defending that flag. So I just wanted to point that out for newer players. And for you, Nilla, it's to the left of that Pack 40, that 3-way intersection there.
Yeah, that's a really good spot to cover that hill, especially too if you put a unit like right in the middle of that T intersection. You can look down that road, so if anything comes running at you down the road, you can hit it too. It's not going to give you as much line of sight on the hill, but it's a give and take depending on what your situation is.
You can push it up just like a cotton hair to the actual intersection, and you get the best of both worlds, actually, if you look at the light on sight tool.
Yeah.
So that'd be a great place for an SIG-33. Understand that if they have artillery, your reinforcement road is going to get punished, but to me, that's kind of worth the risk whenever you're trying to push this northern hill, or northern town hill.
Yeah, he's done a really good job here holding on the hill, too. Great use there, veterancy on the shoots in, breaking that concentration.
Yes, the veterancy, I love seeing when things get upvetted, because it lowers their damage, increases their accuracy, and it's just an all-around better use of the points you're spending, in my opinion. Oh no!
I don't know.
Oh, that 120 is hitting its own guys. Oh.
I don't know if you noticed it, but the Kubel MG just took out the Partisan. Went around, used its optics, found the Partisan, and gunned it down.
What? That is beautiful. Oh, I'm so happy to see all of those Partisans die. Oh, it's now a fair game. Alright, so that 120...
What's the rules of engagements with combatants in civilian clothing? Are they fair game?
If you're fired upon.
Enough.
I'm gonna point that out, that's US. I don't think the Germans during this time frame had the same restrictions, yeah.
Yeah, fair. It's a little loosey-goosey.
I think Roschelsprung is a good example of that.
Yeah. Or Korg.
Or
Or 52nd. Or 11th SS.
The list go on.
First.
Yep.
I don't even know which SS divisions are in the game. Feels like every single one is.
Oh wait.
Eugen.
The Stug is about to take out that Greyhound there. Great use of that armored support, but it misses.
Oh, Caster's Curse. That's your first one.
Oh! I popped my Caster's Curse cherry finally.
There it goes.
It's
Yeah,
on a Stug. Yeah. Like at least I wanted something exciting to happen.
On a Stug. Yeah.
Hey, you got to start somewhere.
I.
Did that howitzer have a heat shell that went? How? That's not 1500 meters, is it?
Yeah, it is just in the range.
Oh
if you
my
put the line of sight tool on
goodness.
it.
That 105 howitzer just wrecked that Stug. I did not see that coming.
It's one thing we aren't really seeing anything of is AA. There's a 88 up north. Oh, no, I'm sorry. There's my Caster Curse. The Flak 43s galore just got called out.
Yeah, and 3 Bofors on Reteyha's side.
So one's in a truck. I'm just talking out of my ass. Disregard what I just said.
For newer players, if you know you want to deploy something, just use the unload at position button in the far bottom right, or your quick key before you bring them out, and then it will deploy them.
Yep.
So, fun fact for anyone who wants to be able to do that. Just use the quick key, and it will deploy them so you don't ever have to think about that.
Ooh, I love it. There's some 60 mil mortars coming into the hill point up in the middle. Best artillery piece in the game.
And 1500 meter range, it's going to be able to interdict those shoots and whenever they come over that ridge. But I don't think...
Still deploying it way too far back.
Yeah, I think he's really cautious with them. Oh, nope, there's 2 more really close. And 50 cows. This man is turning this into the French fortress up here.
Yeah, this is the new Maginot line on the eastern front.
Exactly, and the Germans are going to do exactly what they did. They're going to bypass it by going up north with all their 2K range.
Yeah, if you go bully on stupider nations like Belgium.
Yep. If you look up north, great combination between an SIG-33 and a Flak 41-88. Just attack, move them forward, and they will kill everything in their way. If you look, he already has an Aufkra up here, so he's able to see everything coming through. And he's got Schutzen down south. They can't see the Legionaries, but they'll be able to hit any reinforcements that start coming through.
Yeah, great combo there. And we can also see some 105 howitzers being called out in the back. So that'll be the natural counter there to that little death ball that we have coming out from Sturm.
Very true. I'm actually very surprised at how far back they're being deployed, unless these are the artillery 105s.
They are. They're the artillery ones.
Oh, yep, they're the natural counter to that 2K push. Where are they going? Where are they going? Yep, on the Flak 88.
There's a radio up there, though, so they're going to be a little blind.
Mm-hmm. We're also seeing the Legionaries getting hit by an MG42 out of that area there, so he's about to lose that flag, too. So we're about to see a massive swing of blue up north, and then I think that he'll be able to hold the red down south.
I just, you know what today is?
Hmm.
June 6th. I just realized it, and we're playing the Steel Division 2 game. Or casting it. We didn't even mention D-Day.
Oh, that is fair.
Those legionaries were getting the Omaha treatment there for a second.
They are, but to be fair here, it's the French we're watching play, so there's not really much of a D-Day we can talk about.
True. You hear that, France? See that you can't hear him because they already surrendered and ran away.
Yep. One thing I'm going to point out is I love this little 3-building MG42 battery he's got here. It's just going to wreck anything that Reteyha puts into that position to hold off that flag.
So he heard what you said earlier, and he's like, all right, cool. I'm not going to use the IG-33. I'm just going to call out a bunch of MG-42s.
You know what? Beggars can't be choosers. I'm happy to see support weapons being used. Out of all of our casts...
It works.
Out of all of our casts, you know, one of the biggest things I harp on is combined warfare. And when you see it, oh, chef's kiss.
I think it's the first tank we're seeing from France right here, from Reteyha.
Yeah, that is. Oh my god, this has been a completely infantry DFL army that we've watched so far.
Except those armored cars, but they have wheels, so they're not tanks.
Technically, you're correct.
Technically, yes.
Alright, now we have the 210 off map. Oh, that's going to dislodge the fuck out of these French. Oh.
And the AA is doing its work now, too.
Mm-hmm.
VanDryten's putting himself in a good spot here.
I think that VanDryten has set himself up over the course of this Maverick, or his Maverick, to set up support equipment. And now he's able to push forward. Because if you look up north, the IG-33 and the Flak 88 are both aiming at the reinforcement roads.
Yep. Yeah, I wanna kind of reiterate what you just said there about getting support equipment and combined arms going. When I played, I called it infrastructure. So like when I thought about it, I'm like, all right, what do I have to do to set up my guys to make their lives easier? And I would buy my AA, buy my artillery, buy my support weapons. And if I take good engagements to start the game with, it'll give me the ability to buy that and then just kind of let the snowball happen.
Yeah, because it will happen. Like, I'll bring up our Nov match that we casted earlier, where a 20-point infantry squad and a 25-point L6 were able to, in conjunction, just wreck 70-point Yagkonf, so 2 Yagkonfs. It's just, you have to throw things in conjunction with other things to make things work. And I know that is the most obscure way I could ever fucking say it, but you just have to put things together. You have to put the puzzle together to make things more effective.
Like a puzzle. You can have two of the same puzzle piece, but it's not going to put the puzzle together.
Exactly. So when you see like mass spam of one unit, you know it's not going many places.
Yeah. Unless it was Chernos back in the day.
I mean, you can still do it with Chernos.
True.
No, you can't. You need, like... What is a good spammable unit nowadays, you would say?
That's a great question. I have no fucking idea.
Fair. I'm going to point out this Flak 88 and IG-33 is just decimating everything in front of it at this point. Oh.
Yeah, those 105s have done literally nothing. They are not doing the Lord's work. They are not baptized. They are sinners, and they're going to go to hell.
See, we need an Eastern Orthodox priest to go over there and bless them. That's what it is.
God does not will it.
I'm kind of surprised the fact we've only seen 2 SIG-33s so far when he has 6 of them, because if he wants to rain holy hellfire down at 2k range against the French that we have seen no armor for the most part, just start spamming. You know what? That's what it is. Spam those. For this,
I think VanDryten's a man who believes in moderation.
I hear that's a person you're supposed to drink with, but I could never find it.
Is it because you can't find him or you can't remember him?
Depends how long of the night it's been. We have a French counterattack going down south, but we're not seeing any, like we were talking, support equipment. It's just infantry. Like,
yeah, that looks like he's trying to take pressure off of what's happening up north.
Yeah, if he put a Sherman down there, just a single Sherman within 750 meters, hosing Germans down with machine guns, doing the Lord's work with that 75, the Sherman is one of the best infantry support tanks in this game. Fight me on that.
No, I won't, because I agree with you. It's fucking amazing.
It is.
Wow, look at the what's coming out from over on the right there. We got some double vet M10s coming in, and then there's two double vet Stubs there on the hill as well. So it's gonna be a little showdown here between the double vet tanks.
These guys don't get the American APCR, so it's at 750 to 750 at that point, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's just
Or
1750.
1750, sorry. Yeah. Oh my god, the
Oh,
South is being held by 250 cals. Whew. Or no, these are 230 cals.
He's being held by a 30 cal that's fanatical.
Was fanatical.
Was.
He's no longer around anymore to hold the cause.
Oh. Yep, and there goes that collapse there, but there's nothing to follow up with it. There's a big train of bimps. Oh my god.
All right, how much do you think he forgot to buy things as he was panicking and microing? And
probably a lot.
This is just the French bukkake of points. It's just everything coming out at once.
Yeah, if you confuse the word bimp there with gimp, it looks like they're going to an adult expo.
Oh, Jesus. Some of these lines of reinforcement where they're going, he's going to have to notice real quick to not run into some Sturmschützen.
Yeah, this is a great example here. If you look at how they're deploying as well, they're not on unload orders. He's doing it manually right now.
Mm-hmm. But those three bimps are so important, not only just because they have the bazooka, but because they can knife fight. I mean, against the Sturmschützen with MP44s, like, that's going to be a rougher situation. But against the normal Schützen, they'll have a chance. Oh, he's unloading them now. He's microwing them.
A lot of units just got lost there. Yeah, one of them's about to get taken out.
Oh, yeah.
There it goes.
Yeah, those MP44s, I mean, they're not as good as they used to be, but they are still amazing within 400 meters.
Go look up
or 300
real quick and look at the 88. It hasn't taken a single hit yet from the 105 in terms of hit points.
I'm looking at the 88 up close right now. It's just poxmarked all around it. Like, nothing has been a direct hit.
Yep. It's got a force field.
I think they're still shooting at it, too. Like, these 105s are still shooting. They're down to 12 HE apiece. And not a single direct hit. Jesus.
That's rough. That's really bad. That's awful.
Reteyha, I am sorry that RNG's has done did you dirty like that.
You need a radio up there. So when did those chalks get called out? Was that B phase? It looks like they were. Yeah. I feel like the chalk's a better A phase unit with those Molotovs. You get rush in somewhere, rush in, get some advanced positioning in buildings. Because now they're in a firefight with a bunch of infantry that has a ton of machine guns, and I think they only have one. It's like a Bren, or it might be a Bar.
It's an automatic rifle.
Oh yeah, it's that. It's the gross-looking French Bren.
Yeah. But they have no long-range fire. They're like 28th Jaeger, like those guys, but better because they have the Molotov. You know what? Yeah. I think you're right. I think that's a great A phase unit. I think you use that like you use the 3rd Guards mech partisans. Because they have Molotovs, and you just push into an area and you take it with that CQC, because the automatic rifle they have is a great thing. It's got 6 Stens and 3 carbines, but that Willy Pete is what's going to dislodge things and going to be able to let you do the Lord's work in those knife fighting situations.
One thing too to think about when you're building your unit compositions in A phase is just getting as much bang for your buck as possible. Because at that point, you're like a college student, you're surviving on ramen, and you're thinking about, like, all right, how much can I get? And, like, how much can I just eke out? Like, I don't know, you go to a place that gives you free refills on coffee, you might just go ahead and take one of their cups and save it and get free coffee for a week. You got to do that in A phase. You got to go ahead and be like, all right, what can I get? So the Chalks, double vet. They get all those close range weapons. You have 60mm mortars. They got the Willy Pete. Cool. I'm going to pair them up with a good leader that might have an AT weapon or has a sniper or something along those lines. I'm going to smoke them and get really aggressive with them in the town down south. And think of it that way. You're
talking about a small little platoon structure there to be able to take a position. And that's what we were talking about with this combined warfare. Would you like to talk some more about that? Because I'm sure people would love to hear, like, how your thought process is on what I'll call your platoon structure for my combined warfare.
Yeah, so I remember I was talking to Ring Roo about this when we first started talking, and he's like, all right, like, what do you do in Steel Division games? I'm like, all right, this is what I do. I get 3 baseline infantry squads, a leader squad, and then some kind of support apparatus. Could be an AT gun, depending on where they're fighting. Could be a mortar, depending on if they're attacking and whatnot. And then structure it that way. And it's easier to think of units in your game as platoons rather than like companies and stuff like that. Just because you need to be a little flexible with it. Units are going to die really quick. Like casualty rates in this game are just absolutely astronomical.
Yeah.
And because nobody's casualty adverse. So, all right, cool. You lose half of that platoon's fighting strength. You just kind of use that now to hold the front and then bring up another one. So what's a good example of that?
Great Hellcat run there. I'm going to point that out while you keep going on.
You can kind of see that where we have the shoots and falling back right now. You get a Sherman Pioneer Fear there, a couple of squads there, and then, it's really simple. You have 1 be the base of fire, and then 1 be the maneuver element, and then the third one, you can kind of use that however you please. You can have that be the base of fire, also be a maneuver element as well, depending on the situation. And it just allows you to break the game down from big spam blob down to little spam blob.
Yeah, and that way you're able to move those little spam blobs. That Neberwerfer strike, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was wild.
Whew. Speaking of spam blobs, please don't put your guys together that close, because that's just begging for it.
Yeah, that was brutal.
I can't remember. I think X automatically moves them apart, but it never works. So you have to like really micro when you see a Neberwerfer strike hitting towards you.
Yep. Look up north. The Flak 88's finally lost 2 of its men.
Oh my god.
And it's taken an artillery, or it's taken a resupply truck to get that artillery to do something.
Jesus Christ, they ran out of all of their HE shells. Oh my.
That's awful.
Oh my lord, and they got 1 hit. Oh, Reteyha, I am so sorry for your loss there. Jesus.
One thing with DFL that I think a lot of people need to keep in mind, and this is something that I noticed time and time again with it, is its infantry has really shitty LMGs for long range. There isn't a good long range LMG that they have at their disposal, and their fire support vehicles are kind of cost prohibitive for what you're getting in relation to how expensive your infantry is. So, like, say with the Indian Division, the 8th Infantry, you have Shermans in that, but all their infantry is kind of decently priced and they're pretty box standard.
Yeah.
With DFL, you run into the issue where your Legionary are 35 points, your BIMs are 30 points, but it's, got 2 Brens. So it's going to be okay at like holding a city, but it's not going to be great at attacking. And then you don't really have your 20-point infantry, also not that great, and we haven't really seen any 20-point infantry other than the sappers. So their 25 points get called out.
Yeah, but they also have the bazooka, so they're definitely worth that 25 points. I think up north we saw some Makusas in A phase.
They're 25 points.
25 points, yeah.
So they're really expensive. And now Sturm, on the other hand, very expensive infantry as well, but they're much better on the defense. So you have all those shoots in with their MG42s, and then the offense are not bad either because you have the Sturm shoots in. Sturm shoots in aren't very specialized, but when they get into a good position, like defending a building, they're really crazy, or even storming one too.
Yeah, I think that with the 78th Sturm, you have to use the Schutzen and the Sturm Schutzen in conjunction. What you were talking about earlier with that base of fire and that assault element, and I think we're seeing a lot more of the combined arms out of the 78th Sturm player right now, along with different, like the Stug being in the town, or the MG42 supporting from different angles.
Yeah, and then another thing too, with the base of fire and then the maneuver element, another way to think of that is you want one unit that's putting itself at very little danger while engaging, while the other one gets into a position where it won't be shot at and is able to mop up the other unit.
The other thing I'll point out is if the Shermans were meant for these town fights, like the fact that we haven't seen them, I think that would be my biggest critique of Reteyha, is to have put the Shermans at the town. That's, yeah. Oh, yep, he surrendered.
Caster's curse.
No, I think that the trades just went so far against him at that point, he couldn't really see a way out.
Yeah, it was about a 3-1 there.
Yeah,
that's the issue you run into with DFL. If you're not super duper aggressive or effective in your aggressiveness, you're gonna get worn down over time.
All right. Looking at that, so we talked about the combined arms. We talked about like the conjunction of different units. I think this has been a pretty good like lesson video, I would say, for like different ways to move units around the map and like how to do things like that. For both players, you did a great job. This is again a league for everyone, and we're just trying to point things out and help out everyone as they're playing.
Yeah, I think, and I don't really know how the whole kingdom clan system works, but having a squire go against a yeoman, that might be a little bit of a disparity there in skill level.
Well, with the Squire Joust tournaments, it's everyone under the rank clan rank of sergeant, so it allows the newer players to fight like mid level. I think is where it caps out with like the squires and below. So
Got it. Okay.
they're constantly getting more experience in playing both the same level people and people that are just like a little bit above them, but it allows them to grow as players, I would say.
Yeah, and that's the only way you're going to get better at the game is getting your ass kicked by somebody who's a lot better than you.
Very true. So with that, I would like to do our plug for Hobo Tango's Kingdom of the Noobs. It is an alternative or in conjunction with SD League, where they run local tournaments in a little medieval roleplay clan kind of thing. Link will be in the description below to the Discord. You can join it. Everyone's allowed. Other than that, please like, comment, and subscribe. With that, Nilla, any last words?
Bye bye.
Okay. With that, I'll see you guys in the next cast.